Hey, one more video this evening because I just got something cool in the mail and it made me think of another thing about print-on-demand books, which is pretty neat. So this is from a reader. Just sent this. It's a copy of Sand Part 4, and they sent return postage and all that. Okay, so here's why they sent this. They sent me a picture as well of their collection of sand books, and what happened, they got one, it's hard to see, but it's just a quarter of an inch shorter than the rest of their books. So when they put them on their bookcase with all of them together, it's just a little bit shorter. And the trim size on CreateSpace is correct. One just got trimmed to the wrong size, which is kind of cool. It's not cool for the reader who wants everything to be the same, but it's cool in that these small mistake books are kind of like misprinted stamps. I think they're cool and collectible. So she sent me the book to sign and then send back to her. There'll never be another copy of Sand trimmed to that size, most likely. It also, another cool thing about these print-on-demand books is they are stamped with the date, January 4, 2014. So for people who collect first editions, this is the strange thing. I guess this is a point I want to get across. You don't think of print-on-demand books as being collectible because they're always printable. They're always available. So there's never a true first edition in that 10 years later, as long as that file hasn't been updated, you could print another one. Except, like with some of my books, I've updated the covers, I've updated the interior over time, and there are very few copies of some of those original books. I've seen copies of the very first Wool Omnibus, which I can grab a copy of. I only have one of these to my name, but this is the very original Wool Omnibus. This one has never been shipped around. This was printed, my goodness, 2012, a long time ago. And oh, I just grabbed one of these to show the updated Mike Tabor cover. This is also the copy that's signed by George R. R. Martin. I think that's pretty funny. So when Mike sent me this cover art, it got replaced, and now there are very few of these. So even though it's a print-on-demand book, these have sold for hundreds of dollars. I think there's one on eBay. There's no way it's going to sell for what he's asking for, but there's a lot of money asked for those. So with these copies of Sand going out, the first batch was printed on January 14th. Some of the later boxes that came in were printed on January 15th. For books that collectors care about, it really makes it for a limited print run for first printings of first editions. So even though these are print on demand, there's a higher possibility for a one-off mistake, like a misprinted coin or stamp, and there are even more iterations of the print. So if there's an author that you like and you see, let's say B.V. Larson or A.G. Riddle or Matthew Mather or Michael Bunker, any of those guys, you see a book come out, the day that it comes out, if you're one of the first people to order their CreateSpace edition, you're going to get a date stamped on the book to show you when you ordered it. And if it's someone you care about, I mean, that's a better first edition than anyone will ever be able to get again. And it's weird that there's an advantage to print on demand over traditional publishing as far as collectability, and these are even more collectible because they change over time, and the print run it could be a print run of one. This is something I thought of the other day, which I'm gonna do. I'm not sure which book I'm gonna do it with yet, but you could, with the way CreateSpace works, it's very easy to set up a book. I could set up a version of Wool like the old Omnibus and make a custom cover, a PDF, and have it say one of 10 right on the cover and set up 10 different product files and only print one copy of each of those product files, 1 of 10, 2 of 10, 3 of 10, so on, and then remove the book from publication online, delete the PDF and the InDesign files from my computer, and it'll be impossible to ever print another one. And of course, they'll all be time-stamped as well from CreateSpace. And you could print one-of-a-kind books that don't cost, I think the proof for a book this thick is like $5 or $6. So you could do one-off collectible editions or 10 off, or an edition of 100. And for those you could hand sign inside 1 of 100, and then delete everything, make it impossible to recreate, and for just an incredible price. I mean, you could never have done this before for these print-on-demand services and machines. To do a print run of 100 books, it would have charged you more per book than you could hope to recoup. So interesting things you can do with print-on-demand. It's such an affordable technology. It's so flexible. It's with CreateSpace. It's free to set up, so you can tinker all you want, and you might result in someone who gets something unusual that they realize is collectible to them, or you get people who want to make sure they get that very first edition of a book. So anyway, another video to take a break from packing up copies of sand. Hope it gives you something to think about as a reader and as an author and as a publisher. Just the wacky world we live in. Never ceases to amaze me how many crazy things you haven't thought of, and then there's a reader will highlight yet another advantage to indie publishing. So hope that helps.